Hello and welcome back to the library. Today I want to be discussing my 5 beginner thriller book recommendations. As always, I want to start with what I'm currently reading. My friend loaned me her Kindle because I don't have one. And our book club book of the month is on Kindle Unlimited. It is Ghost by Kat Blackthorne. I'm about 90% of the way done with it. I'm really enjoying it. So I'll have that finished tonight. And my son picked my next read, which is Last Days by Adam Neville. It's a little chunky book. I'm very excited for it as well. All right, let's jump right into the video. So there were a couple things that I wanted to ensure when picking 5 books for beginner thrillers. I wanted it to be a very quick and easy read. I wanted it to grab your attention quickly. I didn't want it to just drone on and be super drawn out and convoluted. And I also wanted the twist to be something you wouldn't expect, even as someone who doesn't read it all the time. These are the 5 books that I think do that very well. First on the list is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Also, these are in no particular order. This is about an in-home health assistant, Kit, who is helping out in the infamous Hope Manor. Lenora Hope, as known by the town people, murdered her family many, many years ago. I want to say like 60 years ago. So Lenora can no longer speak, cannot walk, cannot move other than her hand, very little movement in her hand, because of an accident that she had the night of the murders, 60 years prior. Kit is there and she starts realizing that Lenora wants to tell her side of the story of what really happened. So it's a very slow and tedious process because Lenora can't move more than 1 or 2 fingers in very small range of motion. During this time of Lenora attempting to tell Kit the story, some weird things start happening. Some of the other members of the house, like the housekeeper, and the cook, and people are just acting weird and not right, and like they don't trust Kit. The other thing that is going on with the house is that the house is falling off of the edge of a cliff down into the ocean. So when she's walking down the hallway, she's like walking on a boat where she's like going to the side or having to walk uphill when she shouldn't have to. This book meets all the criteria. The plot twist you won't see coming unless you've read other thrillers. Very quick and easy, get your attention. There's a lot going on, but it all makes sense. This is one of these thrillers that I personally feel you're lost until about 60% of the way through, but it's got enough grip that you want to keep reading to know what happens. So I really enjoyed this book. I think it'd be really good for anyone getting into the thriller genre. Next on the list is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This book is about a girl named Millie who is out of jail and on parole, and she really needs to find a job so she doesn't get sent back. You also have to have a permanent address if you're going to be on parole, so she's trying to find some place to live as well. She finds this ad in the paper that states this family, the Winchesters, need somebody to do the light cooking, cleaning, and helping take care of their young daughter. Millie applies, gets an interview, and meets Nina Winchester, the wife. Nina is very nice. She really likes Millie. The house is immaculately clean. They seem very low maintenance family, so Millie is very excited. She does end up getting the job, and there's also a small bedroom up in the attic that she can live in as well. So Millie moves in, and things start to change for the worst. Nina starts having these outbursts, and the house is destroyed and messy all the time. and Millie just doesn't feel like she is safe around Nina, but she's not really in the position to leave, so she's kind of just hoping that something will happen and that she's hoping she can keep herself safe. So you're following that. The twist at the end was really good. I did not see it coming. Frida writes very, very quick and easy reads. There's not a whole lot going on. It's not flowery. It's straight to the point. This is another really good starter book, and if you are interested in Frida McFadden, this is the one I recommend to start with. Okay, next on the list is Cut Me Free by J.R. Johansson. And this is about a young girl named Charlotte who is 17 years old, and she barely escaped from her very abusive parents. Her younger brother, Sam, was not so lucky. So Charlotte is carrying the weight of what happened to him on her throughout this whole novel. That plays a very big part. But she moves... I don't remember where, but she moves away to a different state and gets a completely new identity. She pays somebody to make her a driver's license and a birth certificate and work history and all of this so she can essentially start her life over. Charlotte is slowly starting to get a normal life for herself, and she comes across this girl who is being abused by who Charlotte assumes is her father. Charlotte goes in and rescues the little girl and is, while trying to start her own life, helping raise and take care of this little girl, getting her into a healthier mindset of you don't need to be abused. That's when Charlotte starts receiving letters they're in her apartment that only she has a key to, that has multiple locks on it. There's no sign of forced entry. There's nothing that leads to what is going on or who it's about, but she fears that her abusive parents have found her. So she is deciding if she needs to run away again and start all over, or if she'll actually be safe with the small group of friends that she's made since moving to this city. This book is really good, not quite as fast-paced as some of the other ones, but still gripping. I really like the message in this book as well. I don't think it's twisty, turny, crazy thriller like some of the other ones, but I think it's a little more than just regular fiction. So if you're more wanting a really light step into thriller, this is a really, really good one. I really love this book. Next on the list is a Colleen Hoover book, and it is Verity. Verity is about this struggling author named Lowen who has been asked by Mr. Crawford, who is Verity's husband, to be a ghostwriter for Verity. Verity had a very bad accident that left her completely immobile. She is basically brain dead without being brain dead. Like, she can't do anything for herself. She has no emotion. She's in diapers. She can't move. She can't talk. She can't respond. Can't do any of that. And so Lowen accepts the offer. She moves into the Crawford house so that she has access to the previous novels and the old manuscripts and rough drafts and all of that. She starts looking through all of the previous writing, and she finds a manuscript that is very unsettling and starts making her wonder what was really going on in the house before the accident happened with Verity. This book, I will make you question what you believe in, whether you... This whole book, I've never hated a character more than I hated Verity. Let me just say that. So the character writing in this is phenomenal. I loved it. I'm sorry, I'm sure you can hear my dogs. They're ridiculous. But Lowen has been paid to write the rest of the series for Verity that she started before the accident. So she doesn't really want to leave, but she also feels like her husband doesn't know about what she's found, and she's trying to decide if she should tell him or if it will really make a difference because Verity can't do anything anyways. So This book was really, really good. Highly, highly recommend. And I, out of all of them, I think this one was kind of the slowest to get into because I didn't really know what to expect with it being a Colleen Hoover book, but it paid off. It was really well worth it. If you're a little more of a slow burn, what's really happening person, this is definitely the book for you out of this stack. The last and final book in this recommendations is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. 25 years ago, our main character, Maggie, flees in the middle of the night with her family from this haunted house that she was living in. But all of these years later, she could never really figure out what happened or why they ended up fleeing into the night. Her father wrote a best-selling novel about their experiences, but Maggie doesn't remember anything that's written in the book at all. No memory of anything. When her father passes away, she is left with the house in her name. So she goes to try to clean up and basically get it ready for resale. And while she's there, she's kind of trying to put pieces together from her childhood that she doesn't remember. She starts experiencing all of these weird, almost haunting things that are going on around her in the house. Things being moved, doors being opened, snakes falling from the ceiling. Like, it was really, really good. Very quick read. This one leans more, it is a thriller book, but it has horror elements in it. So this one, if you like horror and want to read thriller, this one would be a really good one for you as well. These are the 5 book recommendations that I have for if you are wanting to dip your toes into thrillers. I really enjoyed all of these. I thought they were very good, and I would recommend them to anybody, especially if you want to read thrillers, but you don't want to be confused or you don't want it to be like a slow burn, because there are some good slow burn thrillers. It's just really good. So if you have any recommendations, if you've read any of these, I would love to hear them down below. What's your favorite thriller book? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to join me every week in the library, then hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!